All right, guys, welcome back to Out of Left Field. I'm your host, Abby Alonso. I am joined by Emma Lemley, Virginia Tech legend, AUSL history maker. Before we jump into all of that, I want you to introduce yourself without softball.
Okay, I am Emma Lemley. Without softball, wow.
I know.
I know, that's crazy.
I get y'all every week with this question. Every week.
I'm Emma Lemley. I am from Forest, Virginia. Most of the time, though, I just tell people I'm from Lynchburg because nobody knows where Forest is. I went to Virginia Tech for 4 years, and I actually still live in Blacksburg.
Okay.
I love it here. Let's see, what else do I love to do? I love to sing. Big thing about me. I love karaoke. I love singing. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, pause. Give me the backstory of that.
I've just always loved music. I think I started in orchestra when I was, oh gosh, third grade maybe, playing the violin. And then I was in choir in middle school. And I've just always loved to sing and play the piano and I played piano when I was like really young, but then like over COVID and quarantine, I kind of taught myself how to play by ear. And so yeah, my teammates, my friends, everyone will tell you that I love doing karaoke. We have like a traveling karaoke machine here that we take to all of our friends' houses and stuff and
Oh, this is content gold. Well, I'm going to be around the AUSL a bunch this summer, so
Yeah.
we might have to do something there. What's your go-to song?
I Have Nothing by Whitney Houston.
Come on! No shot! Are you?
Yeah,
I'm expecting I was fully expecting like a basic karaoke song.
Yeah.
I can get by. I can sing a little bit. Whitney Houston.
We
Okay.
Last summer we decided to go have a karaoke night. Blaze did. Because I told them that that was my go-to karaoke song. And so they were like, "Okay, well we need to hear it." I was like, "No, like y'all have to we have to do karaoke. I can't just like sing it, no music. Like I have to have the music." And so we
I
went
need the vibe.
and did karaoke. And so yeah, so that was so fun.
Wow. What was their reaction whenever you just belted?
They were like, "Oh, we thought you were kidding. Like we thought you were kidding." I was like, "No,
Oh
like
my.
I love this song. Like I don't get it." Like
Wow. So when you were younger, like you say you like karaoke, you played piano a little bit when you were younger, and then COVID, you kind of rehashed that a little. Where did that influence? Like, was it your parents that like kind of influenced you to get into music, or is it you?
So I went to Catholic school when I was younger, and I guess just in elementary school, like I don't know. I think I started playing piano before I even started playing softball. That's just what I
Wow.
did first. That's just what my parents had me do first, and a lot of like I went to a very small Catholic school, and so basically all of my friends were in orchestra. Um, and so I decided to also join orchestra. And I mean that was like super fun. I loved playing the violin. I actually did like private lessons with our orchestra director.
Oh my
I
gosh.
loved it. But once softball started, I just didn't have a lot of time to keep that
Yeah.
up. But I'm hoping, now I have a little bit more free time. Hoping I can maybe get that started up again. So
Oh, you might have a little outside pressure now that more people are going to know
I
that
know.
you are musically talented.
Yeah.
You're gonna have some expectations to meet, baby.
I know, I better hop back on it, so.
So you started piano before softball. How old were you when you started softball?
Let's see. I was in the first grade, so I believe like 7 or 8, maybe.
Yeah.
I think I was 7. Yeah, I never played like t-ball or anything before. I kind of just went straight into softball. Um, and actually, my first practice ever, I got a black eye. I was like not paying attention. I was talking to one of the coaches, and one of my teammates threw a ball at me and about knocked me out. And So like my mom had to go to school with me the next day and be like, so this is what happened. Like she just started playing softball. She got a black eye. Like she's
Oh.
okay.
Do
But
you
hey, I
remember? I
stuck
know
with it.
yeah, you were super young, but do you remember kind of like, did that affect like you wanting to play softball, or was it just kind of like, whatever?
No, I kind of like
Yeah.
I got hit in the face and I they put a helmet
Day
on me and
one.
I they put a helmet on me and I hopped in the batting cage and yeah, I just kept going back. So
When you look back at your like early softball journey, 6, 7, 8, what
yeah.
do you remember from it? Like what helped you fall in love with the game to get you where you are today?
Yeah, well, I actually started out as a catcher. I wanted to be in a position that always had the ball. I just wanted to be part of the
Yeah.
action on everything. So I started out as a catcher. But I got too hot too fast. That life was just not for me. That was not for me.
You
And so
found
they were
out
like,
quick.
yeah, I was like, this is I don't like this at all. And so I remember, gosh, they let me try pitching and it was like right when it got into kid pitch, it'd be like coach pitch for a few innings and then they'd let the kids pitch for a little bit. And my dad wasn't there. My dad wasn't there. So side note, my dad was my pitching coach until I got to college. But my dad
Whoa.
wasn't there for the first time that I ever pitched in a game. And so they let me pitch and I got 3 strikeouts as a 8-year-old and I was like, wait, this is kind of
This
fun. Wait, like
this might be.
I can have the ball the whole time. Like and this is like my game. Like what do you okay, I like this. And so I started pitching and yeah, my dad was my pitching coach all the way through high school. I never really went to anyone else consistently. It was just my dad and I figuring it out together.
Okay.
But honestly, I think that was the probably the biggest factor of me, loving softball was I spent every practice, every lesson, with my dad. And I still ask my dad pitching questions and go to him with stuff. But
Yeah.
yeah, he was probably like the biggest factor in me just keep coming back to softball and pitching. He's always been, like my biggest supporter as far as softball goes and pitching, but yeah.
Two things. One, how does dad know how to pitch? Like where did he learn it? And then two, what was that dynamic like to be
Yeah.
coached? It's a great thing, right? Your relationship grows, like it's really
Mhm.
cool. But you gotta imagine there's some friction sometimes.
Yeah, you gotta
So
be
what
tough.
was that dynamic like?
So my dad, he knew nothing about pitching either. We
What?
actually we actually started by watching Amanda Scarborough videos of just learning how to pitch, the basics, and as I got older, a lot of it like we figured out together by watching other pitchers and by just like going to other clinics and stuff and like maybe taking one or two things that I learned from each clinic and just like trying it out the next bullpen, the next lesson that
Mm,
we have. So that's honestly how we did it throughout till I got to college, honestly.
wow.
But I you definitely have to have a very strong relationship with a parent to be able to have them as your coach all the way through high school. Um, there were
Yeah.
definitely there were definitely a few more than a few times where we butted heads and we would go pitch at the rec complex that we have right up the road from our house. I remember a few times where my dad being like, "Hey, if you don't want to do this, you can go home. You can walk home if you want." Or and then
Yep.
we built a pitching lane in our side yard And there were definitely a few
Wow.
times where I was like, I'm gonna go get mom. Like you're being mean to me. I'm gonna go get mom. Like or be like, I'm done. I'm hungry. I'm going inside. Like
Yep.
you're being mean to
Because you,
me.
yep. When you look back
But
on those times, though, like, yes, friction.
yeah.
What, when you think about your dad as your coach, and you kind of just said it, like, he was a big part of why you love softball and growing up in
Hmm.
the game. Um, when you think about that time, is there a specific memory that you have with your dad that kind of, you know, has a piece of your heart?
Um, so I would say this isn't even like this is gosh past college and everything. But when I got drafted to the Blaze, there is a picture of my dad and I hugging and me just like looking up at him, and he was just, he was like, I'm so proud of you, like this is what you've worked for, but like I wouldn't be in that position. I wouldn't be in this position if it wasn't for my dad. And if it wasn't for my dad like sacrificing so much of his free time to not just take me to lessons, but to be the one giving the lessons and be the one so engaged in my journey to where I am now. So that moment between my dad and I was really just like a thank you.
Yeah.
Like thank you so much. Like this like I've made it here because of you type thing. So yeah.
That's to be able to get that moment. I actually want to talk about that moment overall because as I
Yeah.
introduced you, you made AUSL history as the first player to ever receive a college golden ticket.
Yeah.
Um, what did you? I need to know all the tea about this. Did you know it was coming? What was the react? Like, walk me through it.
I had absolutely no clue that that was happening. I didn't know that it was a thing. Like I didn't even like I had no clue that that was even a thought. The only person on my team that knew it was happening was Cassie Grizzard, one of my best friends. But she was being so weird that day. Like so weird. I was like I remember we were watching picture film and Corey had texted me like, "Oh, like Jenny Dalton Hill is here." And I was like, "Oh, that's cool. I'm sure she's like calling our game, like cool."
Right.
And I was talking to Cassie about it. I was like, "Oh, cool, Jenny's here." Like and Cassie's like, "Yeah, I'm sure she's just like calling our game. Like that's like cool." And then they kept making announcements throughout the game that was like, please stay after the game for a special presentation or something like that. And I remember I was in the bullpen with Cassie because I didn't pitch that game, and I was in the bullpen with Cassie, and I was like, I wonder what that is. Like what are they doing? And she was like, I don't know.
It's
Like
me.
I like have no clue what that is. And then as we're going through the line, um shaking Notre Dame's hand, she was like, "Stay close to me." And I was like, "Okay, like what do you mean?" So-
What?
and then like we go back and I'm like going to our team, huddle, our team talk, and she's like, "No, stand right here." And I was like, "What do you what? What do you,
What's
why?
going
Like, why
on?
am I standing where she's like, stand right here?" And then, like, some of my teammates were standing in front of me, and she goes, like, get behind her, get behind her. And I was like, oh, okay,
What's
okay.
happening?
And then they started playing the This Is Legendary commercial up on our scoreboard, and
Oh,
our videographer Jack Jones, love him, he's like right in front of me, like right below me, and I'm like, why is he up my nose right now? Like what is he doing? And then like eight of our other photographers were standing right there, and I was like, oh. I was like wait, what's going on? And then when
did
Jenny
you
walked
put two
out,
and two together?
yeah, when Jenny walked out, I was like, oh, I didn't know that they were doing the golden tickets until she started talking about it, but I was like, oh, this has something to do with the AUSL. This has something to do with me.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was like, wait, this has something to do with me. And I mean, luckily my parents didn't know either. My parents, my
Oh,
girlfriend, nobody knew, but they come to every home game, so they were there anyways. And so finally when she's, started talking about it, I like started to like tear up. I was like, "Oh my God, like what do I do? Like I don't even like what do I do? I haven't seen anyone else do this. Like
no,
what's
you were
going
literally
on?"
the first one.
I was like, "What's
You
going on?"
set the precedent. Yeah.
I was so
What?
speechless that I think the only thing I could say when I went up to Jenny to take a picture with her was, "This is so awesome." Like that's like the only I had my parka on, like I had my jacket on, like I didn't even think, like my mind was blank. Like anything, I was just like, "This is
Wow.
so awesome." And then they were like, "Emma, take your jacket off. Take your jacket." I was like, "Oh,
It's
okay,
bad for
okay.
pictures.
My bad, my bad."
I think
But
that like the the golden ticket the whole thing about golden tickets is so interesting
it's so cool.
because every other it really is every other league like you're getting drafted or you go to the draft whatever it is like it's
Yeah.
coming but
Yeah.
to be in the bullpen like you are fully like ready to wrap it up parkas on like nobody knows
Literally.
and then
I was ready to
I
go get
that
dinner.
yeah, you were out. It was time to go. Oh my God. That is so cool. And to be the first one and like hard hitting question here, we're watching softball explode and like
Mhm.
the ESPN deal with the AUSL and
Yeah.
MLB being on board and they're posting on
Yes.
their socials and like there's so much happening in professional softball. Have you taken a second to reflect on the history that you have made in professional softball?
Actually, yes. Actually,
Good.
two nights ago, I spoke at a mental health event that we had at Virginia Tech about student athlete mental
Mm-hmm.
health and about
Mm-hmm.
pressure, and I spoke about how, after receiving that golden ticket, I felt a little bit of pressure of like, oh
Yeah.
wow, people know who I am now. Like people know I just got this first golden ticket. Like I gotta perform. But it kind of all, fizzled away when I started thinking about just how much these women before me have gone through to get to this point. Like how, going to play overseas because we didn't have a stable league here. And it's like we still go overseas to play in the off season, but now that we
Mm-hmm.
have a stable league that is so well run, and people are fully investing in our sport, like this is what the women before me, the softball players before me have worked for to get us to this point. So for me to be a part of this inaugural, college draft class to come in, technically I guess we're all rookies in this sense, but to be one of the first class of, rookies to come in and be able to play with, these women that I have been watching since, I was in middle school, being able to play with them and to play for them and just continue to grow the game. I was, just thinking like, wow, this is such an amazing opportunity. And if I'm sitting here feeling all this pressure to perform and like just instead trying to turn it into, gratitude and like, wow, I've been given this opportunity to play in, the best league with some of the best players in the world. Like I'm doing a disservice to myself and to the game if I don't, put my all into it and just
Yeah.
play free and just continue to grow the game.
When you talk about playing free, that's hard to do. That is
It is.
hard to do. Like, at, and I am so blessed that every AUSL player that I have spoken to has been so open and transparent, and like, the messages are just really great. But we get real about like, there is a level of pressure
Yeah.
because you guys are on the forefront of this evolving sport, and as it's exploding, there's a lot of weight that comes with that. You guys are carrying the torches, kind of. How do you get to a point where, yes, you are grateful, but how do you put yourself in that mindset? Because pressure can be tough.
Oh yeah. I mean, definitely. I mean, there's pressure just being a professional softball player no matter where you're playing
Yep.
because that I mean, this is our job. This is like what we are paid to do. Like they are my employer. So
Yep.
and like yeah, like if you're not performing at your job, like you don't have a job. But so I mean that type of pressure is always there, but I like to think that softball has been such a growing game for I mean just in the past since I've been a freshman in college,
Hmm.
like it has just exploded. And there are especially right now, there are so many eyes on us and there are so many, little girls looking up to us. And just I mean there's investors looking at us to say, is this league, something that we want to take even further? So there definitely is pressure on us to, you know, perform and be competitive, but I honestly think that we compete the best and we play our best games when we are just ourselves. At least that's how I feel for me. Like when I am my at my best, I'm just me. Like I'm not worried about anyone else who's watching. I'm not worried about what people think of me because I've been in that space, where I am so worried about what other people are saying about
Yeah.
me. Like
Yep.
I've had my Twitter controversy when I was a freshman getting called for illegal pitches. Like I know what that feels like, and to honestly almost be at a point where you're like looking for the hate comments and you're like looking
Yeah.
for like, ugh, what are people saying about me now? But
Yep.
I have honestly, I think the like biggest thing I learned as I was, coming through college, into my senior year last year is just knowing like I'm at my best when I am fully me, when I'm not worried about what other people are saying about me on or off the field. Like I know I do things funny. I yell when I pitch. Like I'm only 5'6". I got to use everything I got to get it there. But like I know I do
I
some
love
things that
that.
are funny, like but when I can just be me and not care what other people are saying about me, and that's when I am my best. And I think a lot of not even just softball players, a lot of athletes in general can say that about themselves is like
Hmm.
we play the best when we're just ourselves. It's
When
like,
did that
yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
When did that change for you? Because you said like freshman year you were on Twitter and you were getting
yeah.
into it. And when did you realize it doesn't matter that it's not worth it?
Probably honestly not till my junior year. My sophomore year was kind of a roller coaster too, just mentally, and then my junior year I actually had the yips the first 2 weekends. Like
Mm-hmm.
my first three appearances, I walked 24 people, and it kind of took some self-reflection. And I remember I was like throwing a bullpen by myself and just trying to throw the ball as hard as I could, like not even caring where it went. And I was like, huh, like I don't care. Like I don't why do I care? Like cuz I
Yeah.
mean like a lot of like where my yips came from was like other it came from the umpires missing a few strikes, and then people in the stands yelling at me, and then the other team yelling at me, and then all of a sudden I was just so like in my head that
Yep.
I couldn't focus on anything else around me. And so when I was in my bullpen I was like, why do I care so much? Like the umpire doesn't know me. The people like these people like in the stands, they don't actually know me. It's not like it's my parents up there yelling
Wow.
bad things at me.
Right.
And I think it really came down to, what are the people I care about? Like the people closest to me, what are they saying? Like they're the most encouraging, like they would never say something awful to me like that. And so it's like, these people that are leaving the hate comments or, saying, you're not good enough to do this. Um, I don't actually know them. You know, they don't actually make an impact on my personal life. So why do they need to make an impact on my softball career?
There you
And
go.
that was like such a like mind-blowing revelation
Yeah.
to have, because I mean, like when you're playing on TV, and we have a pretty good fan base here at Virginia Tech, and it's like you know, you think of all these people watching you, and it's like, I don't want to let anyone down, like all these people are counting on me. But then it's like, well, are you playing for them, or you know, are you playing for yourself? Are you playing for, you know, the love of the game, like growing the
Woo.
game? And so that was like a big thing my junior year, of being like, I just had to not care less, but care less, you know? I care
Yeah.
about the game, I care about winning, I care about, you know, my performance, but you know, I don't care what all these other people think about me.
I think it's so,
So
and it's not taking it personal, right? You
yeah,
like
and it's so
whatever
hard.
is being said. Oh, I can only
It
imagine.
like
I've never been in that position, but I can only imagine.
it is
I,
so, like, honestly, like that mental aspect is like, you can't just have it. Like I mean, some there are some people who just they have it, but
bless them. Yep.
like honestly, I'm jealous. Like, good for you. Like, I love that for
I had to
you.
work for mine.
Like me, I had to work for it. Lots
Yeah.
of mindfulness. And like we would do mindfulness also just like as a bullpen, like with our pitching coach. Like that's something that Coach Josh was
Ooh.
like really big on, was like the mental aspect of it. But like I mean, I listen to a mindfulness every day before, even if I might pitch that game. Like, of
Oh,
just
I
being
want to.
able to
Can we?
let go.
Yeah. Can we dive
Yeah.
into that? Because so
Yeah.
I'm at a baseball complex owned by DJ LeMahieu, who
Uh-huh.
played for the Yankees.
Yeah.
And something that we have a lot of pro ball guys here training and coaching, and we talk a lot about mindfulness and how important that is to
Hmm.
implement in these high school kids, because it allows you to perform better on the field, but also be a better human being.
Yeah.
Um, Talk to me about what those conversations looked like at Virginia Tech and mindfulness, how you guys implemented that in the bullpen.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, a big thing that, you know, I realized about just like not caring about what other people say about me or like think about me, came from, you know, Coach Josh. He was talking to us about like people we follow on Instagram, and he was like, "Do the people you follow on Instagram, do they bring positivity to your feed, or are they being negative?"
Mm.
Or and so like we went through our following, like who we were following, and kind of cleared house of
Woo!
like, are these people that bring positivity to our lives or no? But
Love that.
we did a lot of mindfulness. Like we at Virginia Tech, we have a subscription, like a totally free subscription to the Calm app. And
Yep.
so I love the Calm app. I use it all the time. My girlfriend uses my subscription because she loves it
Oh yeah.
too. But we would listen to a lot, almost every day, honestly. We would listen to one of just being aware in our bodies and being able to get so out of our head and just be able to kind of focus on the
Mm.
outside, and just like learning grounding techniques were a big part of it. um and that is one thing that really helped me to honestly just reset in a game, is like, okay, what do I need right now to reset? Like, let me focus on my breathing. Like, is my breathing super erratic right now? Like, because I mean, if you can
Yes.
calm your breathing down, you know, you're just, it's like a total reset. Or just like finding a certain place on the field that you can look to. For me, my junior year, it was my second baseman, Cameron Fagan. Like, I would look at her after every pitch. She would say something to me, and I'd be like, all right, yeah, okay, I'm good. I'm ready. Let's go. But
Wow.
also, I mean, one thing that I still do before every game is we would sit in the bullpen, you know, just like by ourselves, and we would have to tell ourselves 20 positive things about ourselves. So, and it could be anything. It didn't have to be like softball related. It could just be like, I'm I'm awesome. Like, I'm a really good friend. I work really hard. I have an amazing support system. So just things like that. And so I'll still do that before games. It's kind of not my superstition, but just kind of part of my routine now, just like right
Yeah.
before, like when I'm sitting on the bench, just go through at least 10 things and just being like I have a really great rise ball, like I am a good pitcher. I deserve to be here. I have a team that supports me. I have coaches that trust me. I have a family that supports me and my friends love me and I always end it with and I'm that girl and then I go out.
Some, I love that you're saying all of this. I struggled with believing all of that out. So backstory, my
Hmm.
boyfriend is one of the mentors here and
Yeah.
former MLB pitcher. He has been a huge advocate for breath work and visualization, positive self-talk. And I'll
Hmm.
be honest, I thought it was woo-woo at the beginning. I'm like, what? Breath work? I don't want to sit down and breathe and meditate and do all the stuff.
Yeah.
But the moment I was like, dude, you don't know anything about this, just try it.
Yeah.
Game changer.
Just try it.
So the reason I say that is because I would imagine there are a lot of young athletes that think that same thing. They hear the coach or they hear somebody who's been there and they're saying, hey, try this. And, when you're 15,
Yeah.
16, you think you know better. You think you don't need to sit down and have conversations with yourself and do the breath work. What would you tell them?
I believed it too. Like
You were there too.
when I was in high school, I was like, I'm so mentally tough. Like I can handle anything. Like
Dude.
I'm fine. Like I had my dad as a pitching
Right?
coach. Like I'm fine. Like, but I mean,
Hard ass, right?
yeah, like, but you don't know that there are cracks in that until somebody literally cracks you open with it. Like it's like until I mean gosh, when we're playing high school ball and stuff, like we think, we have all the eyes on us in the maybe in the state, but until you get to that bigger stage, you're like, whoa, I didn't know there could be this many eyes on me. And so then it's like, maybe I'm not as tough as I thought I was. But it like what we were talking about where like some people just have it, a lot of us don't. Like a lot of
Mm-hmm.
us it takes practice. Just like with anything you do. I mean, unless you are like a prodigy,
Right.
everything you do takes practice. You're not going to be great at something, right when you start it.
Yep.
And I mean, I think that's the same with, taking care of your mental health and being mindful of yourself because like now I'm self-aware enough to where I can see when, like my cracks start showing, like when I am
Mm.
like getting into a bad headspace, like I can see that and I can pull myself out of it. But like, I mean, in those, first few years of college, like I was just like, no, you gotta be like tougher. Like it's fine. Like it's fine. You gotta be tougher. But I didn't have the tools to get myself out of that headspace. It was kind of just like erase it, just throw it away, throw it out.
Yep.
But it really takes practice, you can't just listen to one mindfulness, one thing and be like, okay, I'm good. All right.
No,
All right,
it's like
I'm
a
fine
muscle.
now. I'm good for
It's
the
like a
next few
muscle.
months. Like it's
Yep.
it's one of those things like you have to do it, every day or
Yep.
at least every other day of and the thing is with the mindfulness like it they if you listen to one, they're like no longer than 10 minutes long.
Yeah.
It's not like you have to sit there for hours a day and work on this, but it is something that, you listen to these, these mindfulness either podcasts or segments and you do actually have to try to apply it in your real life. And that's
Right.
the hardest part. That is like the hardest part of being able to recognize, hey, I need this right now, let me take a second and kind of reset myself and a lot of times at first you realize it too late and then you're
Yep.
like wow
Yep.
oh
Yep.
wow I need help but eventually you practice it enough to where
Yep.
you can realize like oh maybe I need to take a minute,
Right.
I need to take a
And
second.
you can implement it in real time, but that it
Yeah,
takes, committing to a 10 minutes a day versus scrolling on TikTok or whatever. You
yeah,
have 10 minutes a day. It's just a matter of being disciplined with yourself and then
yeah,
practicing to where that reaction time gets faster or you're not
yeah,
reacting, you're responding. And that's something that I am learning every day because it applies not just to athletes, but like everybody in
everything.
real life. But the
Everything.
more
I mean,
you
all
do
of
it,
us. Yeah,
Yes.
all of us face hard situations. I mean, mindfulness doesn't have to just be like only athletes need it. I mean, everybody has stressful days at work. Everybody runs into a person that maybe they don't like or maybe is a little bit mean or something like that. Like we
Right.
all
That's
face
life.
very stressful situations every single day, and it's like this is, great stuff to even like when you're having even just when you're having like a disagreement like with your friend or with a partner or something. It's just like it's good to have it, to have those
To be able to
skills.
regulate. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
I I kind of want to pivot a little bit. You said
Yeah.
something earlier that caught my attention, or we were kind of talking about, the era of softball that we're in,
Yeah.
and from a media perspective, covering the AUSL pretty consistently, you guys look so close. And I've been lucky enough to be behind closed doors or do interviews and see practice or whatever it is. But talk to me about the chemistry across the league,
Yeah.
because it looks like everybody is like super tight.
Honestly, yeah. Like when I first got there last year, I was nervous. I mean, these are girls I've looked up to, right? Like I'm nervous to like meet them, but they are honestly like they were so welcoming of like, hey, if there's like anything you need, like let us know. Like we know this is like a hard transition, so like if you need anything, let us know. But last year it really helped that and I believe this year we're doing it too, but we're all in like our spring training together. So like we're all in the same place. Last year, we're up in Rosemont together. We're all at the same hotel. We're all practicing basically at the same place. Like it's
In the
it's
dome.
great. I mean like it's really great and you get to meet other people and you get to meet people that you've played against but not really have gotten to know. And it was so funny because just about everybody I met was like, wow, I didn't think this is what you were gonna be like. And I was like, what do you mean?
What do you?
You're like,
What
because
does
you
that
look so
mean?
you look so mean on the field. And I was like, let me tell you what, as the farthest thing, that's a front. That's a front. That's not Emma, that's Lem. Like that's not me. Like
You got to put it on.
yeah, but I mean, just getting to also just like hang out with everybody, after games, before games, when we were all in the same place, and then having All-Star Cup also like that's such a unique setup of like these girls, but some people you might not have gotten to play with, and so
Yeah.
then you have 4 weeks to get to play with different people every week and just meet new people and of like, oh my gosh, I've been waiting to play with you, like this is so fun, now I'm finally getting to play with you, like and so I mean that's just like that is it's so different than anything else in professional sports, but that is honestly so fun to you're playing against your rival or you're playing with your
Yes.
rivals during the regular season
And that's
and
that's so
now they're your
unique.
friends.
Yep. I had Taryn Mallett McKinney on
Hmm.
last week, pitching coach at Mississippi
Yeah.
State, and I
Yes.
asked her, because she's going to be with the Bandits
Hmm.
this summer,
Yeah.
and she even said she was like, "I'm so excited because there are girls that I have been wanting to coach, and I
Yeah.
finally get to coach them." So like to be able to at the highest level of softball, how excited everybody is to play with somebody they looked up to, or like, I mean, she's
Yes.
talking about being excited to coach girls that she's tried to coach for years. Like everybody, like it's just good vibes all around, and the camaraderie is very
Yeah.
evident. Like, yes, there, and especially in All Star Cup and with the new city based teams, you're going
Hmm.
to be playing against people more consistently. But with the All Star Cup, to be able to be a teammate one weekend and then opponent the next, like that's a really cool setup.
Yeah,
Really
it's so
cool.
unique and like I mean, especially last year, I think there was just this kind of group sense of like, wow, we're doing something really cool. We're doing something to grow the game. Like everybody kind of knows that, we're here to play softball, but this is kind of bigger than just we're here playing a game. We're
Mm-hmm.
here to grow the sport. We're here to grow women's sports in general. Like people are watching us, we want to we want to make this a good league that people want to watch and that people want to come back to, so that, you know, the little girls watching us now have a place to go after they
Yep.
graduate college,
Yep.
and they have, you know, some security in knowing that there is a professional league that they can go play for. And so I think that is just like, even though, you know, we have rivals and we have people that we want to beat, like obviously we want to win. It's, I think everybody kind of has that in the back of their mind of like, okay, we're doing something bigger than just winning softball games right now.
Yep. It's
Um,
bigger than the wins and losses.
yeah, and I mean that was
100%.
something that we talked about quite a few times this summer, of like not even just like on our team, just across the whole league, of just like, hey, like we're doing something really awesome right now and people are seeing it, and like this is so much bigger than just our one performance. Like
Yep.
this is so big for the sport.
That's a testament to who's running the league, who's playing in the league,
Hmm.
because for everybody to be on the same page, yes, it's a competition. Yes, we are professional athletes. We compete every day. But the bigger goal and the more powerful thing is that we're all on the same page to grow this game for the next generation and make sure they
Hmm.
see what they can do. And I say it every week on every podcast, you all have nailed it. And it's an evolving thing, and it takes time to build a foundation, but it's moving so fast, and it's incredible to watch from the outside, really.
Yeah, and I
I
think there's also just this like air of respect like
mm,
throughout the players of like, you know, like you, I mean, you'll have your teammates or other players like come up to you and be like, you deserve to be here. Like I think everybody knows, like we know that, you know, we were picked for a reason to be on these teams, and it's like, you are good enough to be here, you deserve to be here. Like this is this is good softball. Like everybody knows that you deserve to be here. So I think that is like also kind of a big thing that kind of just like bonds all of us, is like we love playing good softball and we love playing against other
yeah,
good softball players. Like
right.
this is like, you know, peak for us. This is awesome.
That kind of brings me to, and I'll let you go because I've kept you for so long
You're
already.
fine. You're
Um,
fine.
but I remember you going to social media and talking about your why,
Hmm.
and coming out of college and into professional ball, like having to kind of recalibrate with what your why was. And a lot of the conversations I've had around professional softball is, I'm doing this because, but I haven't really had the conversation of how do you find your why?
Hmm.
So, as you've gone through that process this past year, how were you able to find your why?
Yeah, that, I mean, coming to you know, that's such like a simple question that, you know, we get asked all the time, is like, why do you play this sport? And like
Mm-hmm.
simple question is like, I love it. I love it
Right.
so much. But it's like, why do you love it? I think is like the big question that I always come back to for myself, is like, why do I love this sport? Like why have I continued to come back since I was 7 years old, continued to play this game, even though it has been so hard at some points in my life? Like, why do I continue to push myself through the struggle to play this sport? And I think a big one for me is, I go back to kind of the joy I felt when I first started playing. Like the first time I, you know, struck a girl out, or like the first
Mm-hmm.
memory I have like celebrating with my friends or with my dad. Like just that joy I felt is what keeps bringing me back. Like some of my best friends are made through softball, and like I have lifelong friendships that I have made through softball. And every time it gets hard, I just think to that joy that I feel every time I'm on the field. No matter, you know, no matter what happens in the game, like I still am feeling joy when I go out there. And for a while, like there was some points in my college career like where I wasn't finding joy in it. And I was
Mm.
like if I'm not finding joy in playing softball and the thing that I say I love to do, like should I be playing right now? Like why am I still
Oh,
playing? But I think just like going back to when I was younger, it's like, well, what made me have fun? And it was like the experience of being there with my friends and being able to celebrate wins, celebrate achievements, like with my friends. Like that was my favorite part of it. Was being there and, making my friends smile, making myself feel happy. And so like if I can have that joy no matter what's happening, I think that is always what brings me back. And I want younger girls to feel that joy before they have to worry about like recruiting or getting into the nitty-gritty of, like finding somewhere to, continue to play softball. It's like,
Hmm.
well, you gotta love it first, like, 'cause it's hard. And if you don't find joy in it, if you don't love it, it's not gonna be it's not gonna be an easy road. It's not gonna be an easy road anyways, but it's gonna be even harder if you don't love what you do. So I love that we are, growing this game and that girls can see us love the game still at such a high
Yep.
level. Like, I want them to see that we still love the game at such a high level and that they don't need to just worry about, you know, how good they're doing or where they're going to go to college. It's like, love the game first because you're not going to get here if you don't love the game first.
Mm. That's where that
But
was perfect. That's where we're going to leave it because that is so evident that it seeps out of the league that you
mhm,
guys love this sport. And
yeah.
you don't even have to say it. You can just see in the way that you guys play. And that is impacting the small eyes that are on y'all for
Hmm.
100% sure. I told Sam Landry over the summer, I cried quite literally at my first AUSL game. I was standing next to
Hmm.
the bullpen, and it was 3 rows deep of little girls just standing
Hmm.
there in awe of her
And
throwing the
like,
bullpen.
that's what we do it for. Like, that is
That's it.
literally what you do it for.
Incredible. Emma Lemley, you are a gem. You are so easy to talk to, which means we will be doing a part two, maybe at a
Sounds
karaoke
good.
bar over the
Okay.
summer. I
Yeah,
think
come
that's
on
what
to
I'm
Durham.
thinking. I'm making a tour. Don't you worry.
We
I'll
better
be over
see
there
you.
for sure. Yes. Thank you so much for taking the time today to hang out with
Yes.
me and grow the game.
Yeah, thank you for having me on. I had a great time.